India is a land of immense diversity. Its people follow many faiths and they speak numerous languages. Their customs are, varied and rich. This diversity extends to family matters as well. Marriage, divorce, inheritance, these are key aspects, and these are governed by personal laws. Different laws for different communities exist, which is honestly quite unique. This system of varied personal laws has deep historical roots in India. Each religious group has its own set of rules. Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Parsis too. These laws guide crucial life events, and really, they shape family structures and rights. This legal pluralism is often debated, and one of the biggest debates is about a common code. The idea of a uniform civil code emerges right here. It suggests basically one law for all citizens, covering personal matters, irrespective of religion or community. The debate is passionate and, complex. It touches upon fundamental aspects of life, involving identity, tradition, and rights. Understanding this debate is very important. This discussion isn't new in India. It's been part of public discourse for decades. The Constituent Assembly debated it fiercely, and today it remains a significant topic. It involves questions of equality, religious freedom, and the very idea of India's unity. This essay explores this great debate. What exactly is a uniform civil code? Simply put, it means one single law. This law would apply to all citizens and would cover personal or family matters. These include marriage and how it ends. Divorce procedures would be the same. Inheritance of property would be uniform, and adoption and guardianship too would be covered. The Indian Constitution actually speaks of the UCC. Article 44 is the relevant part. It's in the directive principles of state policy, which are guidelines for the government. Article 44 states, the state shall try to secure a UCC for all citizens throughout the territory of India. It is an aim, a goal to achieve. It's important to know the difference between criminal laws and civil personal laws. Criminal laws in India are already uniform. The Indian Penal Code applies to everyone. Murder or theft are punished equally, regardless of a person's religion. Personal laws, though, are different. They vary. The UCC aims to unify these personal laws. Why does the UCC matter so much? Proponents say it promotes true equality. It ensures all citizens are treated alike in very personal aspects of their lives. It could simplify the legal system, making it easier to understand and navigate. It is seen as a step towards a modern nation, a nation that values fairness for all. Personal laws in India have a long history. They were not created overnight. During British rule, a pattern was set. The British largely left personal matters alone. They codified criminal and contract laws, but for family issues, they were cautious. They allowed religious communities to follow their own scriptures and customs. This policy continued for a long time. The British rulers felt it was wise. They did not want to interfere much in the sensitive area of religion. So, Hindu law applied to Hindus, and Islamic law applied to Muslims. This created separate legal spheres for different religious communities in India. After India's independence in 1947, the Constituent Assembly discussed this issue. There were strong views on both sides. Some wanted a UCC immediately, while others argued for gradual reform. Ultimately, UCC was made a directive principle, a goal for the future, not a mandate. This was a compromise at that time. Later, some reforms did happen. The Hindu Code bills were passed. These laws reformed Hindu personal law. They addressed marriage, divorce, succession, and aimed for more gender equality. For other communities, changes were fewer. The Special Marriage Act of 1954 was key. It allowed interreligious marriages under a civil law. Many people strongly support the UCC. They offer several compelling arguments. A primary argument is gender justice. They believe personal laws discriminate, especially against women in many communities. A UCC could ensure equal rights for all women in marriage and inheritance. This is honestly a powerful call for fairness. National integration is another key point. Supporters feel a UCC will unite India and it will foster a common Indian identity by having one law for all citizens. It can reduce divisions based on religion and promotes the idea of one nation, one law. This, they argue, strengthens the country and makes it more cohesive. Simplification of the legal system is vital. India has a complex web of personal laws, which can be confusing for citizens and can also burden the judiciary. A UCC would make laws simpler, easier to understand and to apply. It would streamline legal procedures, making justice quicker and more accessible. Finally, secularism is a strong argument. India is a secular democratic republic. Supporters say a UCC embodies secularism. It separates religion from civil laws. Personal matters should be governed by state law, not by religious rules, they argue. This fulfills the constitutional vision of a modern, progressive and secular India. However, there are strong arguments against UCC. Many people have, some serious concerns. A major fear is the threat to religious freedom. Article 25 of the Constitution guarantees this, the right to practice one's religion. Critics worry UCC will infringe this right. Personal laws are often tied to religion, and imposing uniform rules might be seen as interference. India's vast diversity is another point. The country is home to many cultures and, numerous distinct traditions. Opponents argue UCC ignores this diversity. It might impose a majority view on minority communities and their customs. This could lead to cultural homogenization and a loss of unique practices. There are fears of potential backlash and social unrest if UCC is imposed. Personal laws are deeply ingrained in the social fabric of communities. Sudden drastic changes could be resisted. This might create more division instead of fostering unity as intended. Consultation and consensus are seen as vital. Practical challenges are also significant. Drafting a UCC acceptable to all is hard. Which customs will it include? Which will it exclude or modify? How will it reconcile different traditions? Implementing it across such a vast nation with its varied population is, honestly, quite complex. These are difficult questions to answer. A uniform civil code would affect all communities, but its impact would definitely vary. For Hindus, personal laws were reformed through the Hindu code bills way back in the 1950s. These cover things like marriage, divorce, and succession. A UCC might bring further changes, perhaps in areas like adoption or property, or maybe align remaining aspects with a common standard. For Muslims, the impact could be quite significant. Muslim personal law is, for the most part, uncodified and is based on Sharia principles. It governs marriage, divorce, and inheritance. Practices like triple talaq were really contentious, and the Supreme Court has actually intervened in some cases. A UCC would replace these traditional laws with a common secular legal framework. Christian personal laws also have old roots. They've seen some reforms over time, but areas like divorce and succession are still governed by specific Christian laws. A UCC would mean these laws merge into a single code for all citizens. This would definitely change how family matters are legally handled for Christians in India. The Parsi community, though small, is quite distinct. They have their own personal laws, especially for marriage and divorce, and these laws are unique to their community. A UCC would integrate these two into the common civil legislation. Goa offers an interesting example, since it has a common civil code, a legacy from Portuguese rule, that applies to all Goans. The Indian judiciary has played a role in the uniform civil code debate. Several Supreme Court judgments are actually key here. They have often highlighted Article 44 and urged the government to act. These cases brought the UCC discussion to the forefront of public attention and legal discourse in the country. The Shah Bano case in 1985 was really pivotal. It involved a Muslim woman's right to maintenance after divorce from her former husband. The Supreme Court ruled in her favor, citing secular criminal law provisions, and it also called for a UCC. This judgment sparked a huge debate and led to a lot of political and social churn. Another important case was Sala Mudgal in 1995. It dealt with Hindu men converting to Islam to practice bigamy, which means marrying again while the first wife is still alive. The Supreme Court condemned this practice and reiterated the need for a UCC to prevent such misuse of personal laws and to ensure justice for all. More recently, the Shah Bano case in 2017 challenged the practice of instant triple talaq, where a Muslim man could divorce his wife by saying talaq 3 times. The Supreme Court declared it unconstitutional. This was a major step for gender justice. While not directly imposing a UCC, these cases show the judiciary's consistent push for reform and for greater equality in personal laws. Recently, the state of Uttarakhand took a step and became the first state in independent India to pass its own uniform civil code. This happened in early 2024. The Uttarakhand UCC aims to consolidate laws governing marriage, divorce, and inheritance for all residents of the state, irrespective of their religion. The Uttarakhand UCC has several key features. It sets a minimum marriage age for all, 18 for women and 21 for men. It makes registration of marriages compulsory. It also introduces rules for live-in relationships, requiring their registration with authorities. This is a pretty novel aspect of the law aimed at providing some legal status. The code also standardizes divorce procedures and provides equal grounds for divorce for both men and women. In matters of inheritance, it aims for equality. Sons and daughters will have equal rights to inherit property from their parents. Polygamy, or having multiple spouses, is banned. These are significant proposed changes. The Uttarakhand UCC is a bold move, and its implementation and impact will be watched closely. It could serve as a model for other states or even for a national UCC, as some believe. However, it has also faced criticism. Concerns about tribal communities' customs and practical implementation challenges do exist. Its journey will be important for the larger UCC debate. The Law Commission of India studied UCC, and in 2018, it released a consultation paper. It suggested that a UCC might not be necessary or desirable at that stage. Instead, it proposed reforms within existing laws to address discrimination and inequality. It emphasized reforming family laws of all religions in a piecemeal, gradual manner. The Commission highlighted the need for discussion and building consensus among communities. It argued for codifying and reforming personal laws to ensure gender justice rather than imposing a single code. This approach focuses on specific problems within each personal law system and seeks to rectify them carefully. Many experts echo this cautious view. They believe reforms should be consultative and should respect India's diverse traditions while upholding constitutional rights. The goal is to achieve equality and justice without alienating communities. This really requires a delicate balancing act between unity and diversity in the nation. The debate on the Uniform Civil Code continues. It's a complex issue with many layers. It involves law, religion, society, and politics. Finding the right path forward is crucial, and it requires careful thought and wide dialogue. The aim should be to strengthen India by ensuring fairness for every citizen while cherishing its rich pluralistic heritage.